Gallery KC as well, to make sure that we keep inspiring young readers to kind of come up and dabble into this world as well, so.
More accessible. Yeah. You wanna talk after this? I'm all for it.
Yes. You have a question, sir?
I do.
All right.
I have a question. I compliment you on your resilience in pursuing your dreams, which is great. You know, last week or so, there was the 4 former mayors here talking about how great they've improved the city, which to me was just encouraging more gentrification. So anyways, what sort of support do you get from City Hall, or do you need from City Hall to help white people over there to feel comfortable? You attract, really a more of a broader community, if that makes sense? I don't know if white boys say their shit, but anyway. I just, you know, really all I see is white people. Yeah, it's like, so you guys get recognized for what you're trying to do, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to the city of Kansas City, I think they are trying to make strides to making sure that the amount of gentrification, not overly affect what's happening in the inner city. I will say that, you know, we live in a country where it's set up for that. I will say, however, that, you know, I personally believe that gentrification is like anything, a double-edged sword, and so you can have too much of one side. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about communities that lack investment, we will need investment, and it will need to come from outside of those particular parts of town. You know, I will say, as someone who wants to see the East and West connect, I would say transportation is a big way to do that, investing in our streets that go east and west and not just in the ones that go north and south. That makes a huge difference. Also investing in, you know, Brush Creek, you know, and the sewers that affect all of us and, that live east of Troost, where geographic racism has, you know, really taken a toll on the housing stock. You know, I would say those east-west connections are pretty vital. I can't rely on the city to make all of those changes. I think we need, obviously, we need support from the private sector as well. But gentrification is something we're gonna have to wrestle with. We're gonna have to get comfortable and uncomfortable with that word, because we will need outside capital, but we also need to make sure that we got our walking shoes on. So those folks that have been long-standing citizens, that have been waiting for their chance to come online, are also supported, not kicked out. I do think we have a lot of density, we have a lot of density issues rather. We've got a lot of land. We could fit 3 San Franciscos in the Kansas City proper. So there's a lot of land to go around. However, we definitely need to make sure that our neighborhoods are strengthened, and our neighborhoods are strengthened in a way that, that, you know, fosters that diversity, and also fosters those long-term citizens and residents that have been there for a long time to have access to a new level of excitement. You know, making sure that people are excited when these new projects come around. That's something I'm very sensitive to. I want to make sure that Vine Street growing is something that doesn't, cause an allergic reaction to the neighborhood, whereas I think a lot of projects you're talking about can cause allergic reactions, and that's because they come in like a dandelion. They don't come in at the ground level, so that's what's happening.
And money is power, and so how do you get the money to help develop those areas? I mean, we've had other talks here before with other, like Brooklyn, what they did with Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and it was down by the city hall, you know, the big wigs, and
Yeah.
I won't get into my issue with the city hall, but anyways, you know, it's all big money. So how do you get the money to actually help? You know,
Yeah.
it needs to be, you know, I want to travel, you know, I go over to your neighborhood.
We've got to directly address the systemic issues that are affecting the city head on. And kind of my confidence comment earlier is those bigwigs, if you will, need to also have the confidence that their dollars will create the change that's necessary. We also need to have the confidence to speed up and expedite that process. I promise I'm not running for mayor or anything, but we have to make sure that those things are accounted for, because, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if the development project is there to, you know, I mean, the development process is